Hello everyone, we're going to go over a few things that are going into the very next update. We're going to go into the core set release, which has no tentative date as of yet, but it should be around Christmas time. PlayStation Classic folder, Auto Bleem folder, and then obviously you first install the Auto Bleem modification itself, and then the Extreme Core Injector. Then if you want to install any additional add-ons, such as cheat codes or Scum VM for MT32 pseudo sound or NES chiptune style, or reset it back to default. And then, of course, the drastic Nintendo DS emulator. You can install those as well. But last but not least, if you want to run PlayStation 1 games from the main user interface, you can install the databases for USA, Japan, and or Europe. And one's 41 megabytes for USA, 51 megabytes for Europe, and 167 megabytes for Japan. Right now, we're going to install the database for USA. I'm going to double-click it. And then we're going to do the three dots over here so we can point it to my drive. Sony Drive, and if there's any files on there, I'm just going to let them overwrite right now. And then we're going to be able to actually add games so they can be scanned for use on my main user interface, and then it'll also have an appropriately special playlist on the RetroCat menu, which I'll show you as well. But we're going to add Road Rash, which ironically was one of the very first games that we got running with USB host, along with Rock and Roll Racing, MSG1 full CD soundtrack version on NES and NES Classics. But we're going to go into the drive right now. And on the drive, with the release, you're going to basically have a games folder, capital G, lowercase a, M, E, S. And then in there, you're simply going to copy and paste your bin and cues. I have Road Rash copied and pasted over here already. And then we're going to boot down and boot the system up. And for reference, some of the games that I'm going to have in this video, you're going to be able to go into the core set release. Let me show you real quick before I shut down this and go into the PlayStation Classic. And you're going to go into extras and perm cheats patching. Now, I'll have patches for like DOS, Nintendo DS, Game Boy, Nintendo 64, NES, PCFX, and also some patching programs and so on. But let's actually safely remove the drive right now because we have Road Rash on there. And we're going to boot up and scan it and get it into our repertoire of games. Okay. I've connected my drive to my powered USB hub, which is connected to port 2. Then we're going to boot up and we'll have the typical BIOS PlayStation music going on here. And you're also going to see the new theme that I'm running for RetroArch as well. We'll call it RetroCat Xtreme for those of you who are familiar with me on the SNES Classics. But we're going to push X and scan for Road Rash. Bam. And then we're going to push Start to enter the main user interface. And we should have our default games, from Battle, Arena, Toshinden, and so on. And we scroll to the right. And we now have Road Rash. Fantastical soundtrack with Soundgarden, Therapy, and many other great bands. Fantastic game. But we're going to cancel out, and we're actually going to play RetroArch. And we have a playlist for Road Rash on RetroArch as well. Okay, and here is some new, nifty, spaced-out music and a retro cat theme going on here with a Comics Zone style font. Awesome stuff here. And right here is the game that we scanned. We can run this here and actually assign it to a core, set core association. And we can actually assign it to any of the PlayStation cores from Neon to POPs to Unite or PCSX1. I typically use Neon the most, but for some games such as Metal Gear Solid, you're going to want to run POPs because it fixes the glitchy FMV full motion videos. But yes, it's down here. We're good to go on that. We're actually going to load a really cool game, one of my favorites, for a brief test here, 4K. And we're going to load Final Fight with MAME 2000, one of the best brawler games, which really brought notoriety to that whole genre. Pretty much the game that came out after Double Dragon. That and Double Dragon were two of the big games that got things going. We're going to run this with MAME 2000 briefly. And some of you might have followed me on the SNES Classics where Big Blue Front End, GP Star, and myself were working with this particular game and getting the Sega CD soundtrack going with it. Phenomenal work of GP Star and Big Blue Front End. They're both great guys. And for those of you who played this on Super Nintendo, you're probably disappointed that you only had Hagar and Cody in your initial Final Fight game and had to buy Final Fight Guy in order to play Guy. But the only thing that makes this better would probably be two-player mode activate. And right now we're playing one-player mode activate. Typically, you can connect another controller to either USB port 2 and or your powered USB hub, OTG, and so on, and simply push select and insert a coin, and you're good to go. But we're going to up the ante here. We're actually going to play three-player mode activate. Yes, why do you say three-player mode activate, Kylan? Well, normally you can only run 2-player mode activate, but there's a phenomenal hack, and we're going to be running a hack right now with 3-player mode activate. And since I have no friends over to play this right now, we're going to do it with one controller. So we're going to load content, start directory, and we're going to load the hack right now, which I'm going to have the patch for in the perm sheets patch-in folder. So load it up right now. We're going to load it with MAME 2003 Plus. And Arcades 2003 did a tremendous job getting this incorporated into the core. He also helped out, along with Grand 2258, with many MAME 2003 Extreme editions. But we're going to do 3-player mode activate, and I'm going to show you exactly how to pull it off with one controller. Again, you don't need to do anything at all if you want to play 2 or 3-player mode activate with normal controllers, but we're going to do it with 3 controllers right now. Just watch. So I'm going to start the game per normal here. Now I'm going to start with Guy here. And once I get in game and have Guy here, see I have start for player 2 and start for player 3. Awesome. So now we're going to go back into RetroCat Settings input. And again, if you have normal 2 and 3 players and friends over, family, loved ones, you don't need to do a damn thing. Just hook up the controller and play it. But right now I'm playing all 3 players with one singular controller, and here's how you do it. We're going to user 2 binds. And I'm going to make device index match my first controller. When you're done, you need to put it back to disabled. So I'm going to make it PlayStation Classic, which is the exact controller I'm using for controller 1. And then we're going to resume the game. Now we're going to actually select Cody. Now we got 2 players with 1 controller. Bam. But maybe I want to have 3-player mode activate, so we're going to add Hagar by going back in input. And we're going to go to 3 binds. And we're going to change the index to PlayStation Classic controller, resume, select, start, and we're going to pick Hagar. Awesome. So now we got the amazing 3-player mode experience with 1 controller, and you can do this without any arcade game you imagine, be it 1, 2, 3, or 4-player. I mean, you can do X-Men, TMNT, Simpsons, Sunset Riders, all with 4-player mode activate on 1 singular controller. You can even play 8-player mode activate with games from like 1979 called Tank Game. I'm going to have to work on getting the X-Men 6-player one working too, because that's a tricky game to get running. But let's try and do the body slam with Hagar. There we go. You know who does a really good body slam? Hulk Hogan. And that's one thing that disappoints me when you play a game and Hulk Hogan's explicitly not in the game due to some thing that he happened to say publicly. So I didn't buy the last WWE game because Hulk Hogan was not in it. But if he's back in the game, I would buy it again. I still have the WWE WrestleFest, or should we say Superfest game, All-Star Wrestling game for PS3, which is one of my favorites. I'm going to showcase that in another video. But yes, we got 3-player mode with 1 controller. Okay, we're going to actually go back into input binds and disable controller 2 and 3, so we're playing with 1 controller again. Okay, disabled. Disabled. And then you can do this with games like Contra, Life Force, and so on as well. But we're back to 1 player, and we're actually going to go load another game now. And one game that has issues for many people is Metal Slug 2, which has quite a bit of considerable slowdown. No matter which version you get, the Wii, PSP, downloadable digital versions on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, and so on. But right now we're going to run the hack, which has most of the slowdown removed. I mean, it's far better playable than before. We're going to load that with MAME 2003 Plus again. I'll have the patch for this and the perm sheets patching as well. And we're going to do a little bit of 1-player, then we're going to add a 2-player mode activate on here. Because you can play with strategy, just like in Contra, where you can actually have the characters separated from each other. And I have the cheat menu enabled right now, but I'm going to disable that. If you run MAME 2003 Plus, you need to go into core options and display the main menu, turn on your cheats and everything, then come back into core options and turn it off. For MAME 2003 Extreme, however, you can push R2. But we're back in action here. And if you want to run the Neo Geo games, if you're running them on the MAME 2003 Plus Extreme cores, you're going to need to have the Neo Geo zip BIOS in either your RetroCat system folder and or in your game folder, along with Metal Slug, 1-zip, so on. Inserting coins. Okay. Yes, and typically the MAME 2003 and Extreme cores would use a BIOS that is around 250 kilobytes in size, whereas the Final Burn Alpha cores use one that is around 1.4 megabyte in size. But this game typically has slowdown. We're running with much more minimal slowdown than before. And I might want a 2-player mode activate here, so what I'm going to do is go into input again, RetroCat Settings input. And we're going to go to user 2 binds. And we're going to set the controller to PlayStation Classic again. There we go. It's a coin. Now we got 2-player mode activate. We can have them separate like this. Or we can move to the left and have them in the same spot. Like that. Yeah. Double firepower. This works really good with Contra, especially when you have double spread guns. We'll get through here. We'll do a little bit of 2-player mode activate. Now I have this hack included so you can patch it. I'll show you how to patch the Final Fight game as well as Metal Slug 2. Yes, you can do it with the Neo Geo CD version of Metal Slug 2 as well. But yes, it just runs so much better. When I throw a grenade, slowdown is very minimal to non-existent now. And it normally gets pretty bad in this part right here. Especially when you have all the missiles flying on the screen. In later stages, like second, third, fourth stage and on, it gets really, really bad. But yes, we actually still have 2 players with 1 controller right now. Let's get past this part real quick. We're going to get the straw that broke the camel's back part next. We're going to play one other really, really incredibly cool hack for a brief moment after this part. But I want to ride the camel for a brief moment here. Right there. One person's on the camel, one person is not. Oh yeah! Oh great, lost the camel. Oh yeah. Should be slowing down really bad right now, but it's not. It's running awesome. Okay, we're going to go back in and disable that. And put user 2 binds. And we're going to change it back to disabled. And now we're going to actually go low content cartridge and we're going to load this really, really cool Super Mario hack in my Super Nintendo folder. You might notice this has some incredible music now, complete with clicks and everything. This will be a RetroCat Xtreme in the next update. We're going to play this new Super Mario Land hack, which is a nice takeoff of the Game Boy version, but on Super Nintendo, complete with updated graphics, visuals, music, and all that stuff. We're going to play it on, we'll do it on 2005 plus. Plays for a brief moment. Very, very cool hack that numerous people have told me about. And tremendous thanks to the person who worked on this. Okay. Awesome. Very, very cool hack. Feels like a DS game on Super Nintendo. It's like a DS Game Boy crossover. Now I'm going to show you a couple other things that are you're going to be able to do with the update as well. Because I'm trying to work in tweaks for performance and speed. And I did a nice exploit, which I'm going to show you right now. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to load a game normally. And just watch what I do after I load it. So this is a great game. We're going to go to low content start directory. I'm going to go to my Mega Man folder. We're going to load Battle Kid 1 and 2. We're going to load Battle Kid 2 right now. Okay. And we're going to load that with a FCMM. Okay. Now we're going to play the game normally. Okay. And it's rather normally. This is a nice Metroidvania style game. Look, easy, normal, hard, very hard, unfair. You can actually buy this game on a real cartridge for the real hardware. Now when we play games like Sega Saturn, Xbox and so on, not Xbox, we're not running Xbox on it, I'm talking Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, and PSP and so on, we have a little bit of an issue with some performance and speed on some games. But I'm going to do a little bit of an exploit right now. See, we're running the game normal here. Everything's running fine. Bam! You die really, really quick in this game. We're actually going to go into RetroCat settings, audio, and we're going to disable the audio device completely. Just watch what I do. It's disabled. Now we're going to exit RetroCat. Then we're going to reload that game. Going back into RetroCat. We're going to load the exact same game. We have no audio right now. The audio device is completely disabled again. In order to re-enable it again, you're going to need to go back in and turn it back on like that. But we have it off. You have to exit RetroCat when you're done. We're going to the latest game I loaded, Battle Kid 2. Run it. Now watch what happens. Look at that. Runs way faster. How awesome is that? Now we're going to use that little bit of an exploit right there. And we're going to actually load a game that runs really, really horribly normally. We're going to load a Naomi game. And And we're going to utilize what I just did to make the game run faster. We're going to load Virtua NBA, which is a fantastic game. It runs abysmally, normally. And we're going to run this with RetroCat Xtreme. Naomi games are very, very tough to run. I mean, we can run Atomic Spray games fine, but right now we're going to run Virtua NBA. Again, we'll run it with no sound, so just jam some music in the background. Whatever you want. The Space Jam soundtrack if you want to, have you will. Again, we're going to run this right now, and it'll be running considerably better with the sound device completely disabled. And you can use this on certain games, case-by-case special scenario where the sound really, really inhibits the game from running properly. In another game that's like this, I'll show you next. So we're letting the game initialize here. And this is going to be running way better than before. I will play as Chicago. Unfortunately, without Michael Jordan. Would be beautiful to have Michael Jordan, though. Like I said, we need Hulk Hogan in our wrestling games. We need Tiger Woods in our golf games. Michael Jordan in our basketball games. Mike Tyson in our boxing games. And this is one of the hardest to run games, and it's normally crazy choppy. But look, it's actually running pretty smooth right now. And it's quite playable. So get a couple friends over, play 2-player mode, activate with this. And this is a great game, very, very close to the 2K type of game, which are pretty much not really playable on any of the cores. But this is beautiful, running nice and smooth. Yeah, let's try to get a basket here. 3-pointer! Oh, that's such a bad trajectory. I'm going to miss that. I missed the rebound too. Maybe I could steal it. Steal it! I need Tecmo NBA with our L button so we can actually foul the people. There we go. Let's get our own rebound there. Pass it. Oh, no. Stop getting your rebounds. Okay, let's try to get another point there. I'm losing them right now. We got this. And again, I have to get used to the controls in this game again. It's been a while since I last played it. I wish I had Michael Jordan so I could do some nice 3-pointers. Let's try taking a layup here. There we go. I got this. Yeah. I need to at least tie the game here. See if I can figure out the steal button. You can hear me wacky attacking on the controller. But yes, it takes me a little bit to get used to the controls of these games again. But then I'll be like doing the dribble under my legs and all that good stuff in some of the more advanced basketball games. But I'm happy as hell as how nice this is running right now. Let's try doing a 3-pointer again. Come on, we got this. Oh, that'll work. Oh, no. Oh, stuffed. Yeah! No, I'm sucking so bad. I got this. Oh, yeah, dunk. I need to at least catch up to 6 there. I don't want to let this team beat me. And they did such a fantastic job on this game. I mean, I wish I would have seen this in the arcade. But I love my basketball games, and again, Lakers vs. Celtics is still my favorite one. I'm going to stuff you now, dude. I don't want to get tipping either. Oh, there we go. Nice rebound. Let's try the 3-pointer one more time here. Oh, stuffed. I should have waited until I had better non-coverage there. There we go. I actually stole it that time. There we go. Oh, yeah. Tied. So at least I tied them. Now we're going to parlay that little trick that I just showed you for 2 Sega Saturn games, which have terrible, terrible sound to begin with. They're so low that you can't even hear them play, so it doesn't even matter if you have sound for them or not anyway. We're going to do House of the Dead to start with. Okay, beautiful artwork. And we're going to run that with the Boost Extreme. Again, we're running this without sound. We're going to get a nominal performance and speed boost as a result. So try this on some of the more stubborn games. And yes, this will actually help out Atari Jaguar to a degree as well, which I'll show you as a brief demonstration. But right now we're running House of the Dead, which is going to be running better than before. There's no reason to even bother running sound with this because it is so low, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, this and Die Hard have no sound. Die Hard Arcade, that is. There we go. Do this for a brief moment. And you'll see it is actually running pretty awesome now. I'll do another Sega Saturn video as well. I mean, I'm going to go back into enabling sound. Okay, House of the Dead. Doesn't it do like a door creak and goes, House of the Dead? We do Saturn mode. And if you have Alexa, you can obviously play some music, whatever you want to play, Billboard, some metal music. But just watch how nice and smooth this runs now, with the sound disabled completely. And this is really great if you have like people over and you just want to play some games. Just turn the sound device off and play some music in the background. Okay, now it's running so fast. Okay, let's get to the part where we have to actually save the two people. I'm pushing L1 to reload my gun. Do some headshots there. This is running so beautifully now. About as well as it ran on PC for me many years ago when I emulated it. Oh, I missed. I missed there. Oh, I'm loving this right now. We'll try this out briefly with Die Hard Arcade as well. But yes, for these two particular games, you're better off running them without sound completely, and you'll get the full, fast-paced experience for these. This is really fast now. Really feels like I'm playing this on a real Sega Saturn. Okay. Great. Now we're going to go back into load another game. We'll do Die Hard Arcade there, and you'll see that actually runs better too. And already you're going to get a performance and speed boost with sound, but again, these two particular games, they don't really have sound to begin with. Some of the Model 1, 2 games do not have the sound. So it is so low that you literally have to crank your volume really, really high. Kind of like a Blu-ray rip, if you've ever run a Blu-ray rip, where the sound is kind of out of whack. But we're on Die Hard Arcade right now. I want to look at the beautiful artwork there, which does not quite look like Bruce Willis. It's not even really based off of the movie either, but it is what it is. It is Dynamite Dika is the true name of the game. Dynamite Cop, Dynamite Dika. Not really Die Hard. Okay? And you can see this game runs quite a bit better too. And if I had to choose between this and Fighting Force, I would definitely pick Die Hard Arcade, aka Dynamite Dika. I'm going to show you one other game that the lack of sound is really going to really help out. Another Sega game, in fact. Well, the Naomi hardware, should we say. Okay, Die Hard Arcade. And they actually just added a new Netflix series which has kind of like a behind the scenes of various movies such as Dirty Dancing, Ghostbusters, Home Alone, and Die Hard. I'm going to be watching that next. Some of the travesties and tribulations, trials, and such that they had to go through. Okay, we're trying right here. Running way better than before. Even better than my Android phone can run this game. Look at that. Literally full speed now. So taking away the sound definitely helps out on this particular game and House of the Dead. Awesome. See if we can do some cool special moves. Oh yeah, loving this. I'm going to have to play this entire game. And I still like many of the armaments and weapons you can pick up, which remind me a lot of Dead Rising. But running much better than before. Again, you can play the Dreamcast version as well on the PlayStation Classic, which runs fine too. So you have a choice between playing Dynamite Cop 2 on Dreamcast or playing this version on Sega Saturn. Don't even attempt to play the arcade version. It won't work well. It runs horribly. Oh, look at that crazy move. Okay, we're going to play one more game without sound and see how that runs. We're going to load a Naomi game. Then I'm going to turn the sound back on and show you how the same game that I'm about to run runs with sound. So we're going to do Shikigami 2. Great arcade shmup. And we're going to load that with the Flycast Extreme Core. Okay. And let's let the game load. And again, we'll run this without sound. I would just jam some crazy KMFDM music while I'm playing this, typically. But for the intents and purposes of this video, I'm going to be running it without sound. But normally if I'm playing this without sound, I would just jam some metal music in the background. Pretty loud, in fact, where you wouldn't be able to hear my voice. Now I'm going to have to do some more drumming videos because many of you have requested me to do specific songs, so I'm going to make sure I do that. But you're going to see this game with and without the sound as our test, as our final test in the video. It's actually running phenomenally well, like real nice and smooth right now. But wait till I add the sound, take the sound, add the sound back, it's going to run awful. And this is such a cool game. They actually released this on the Nintendo Wii and other systems as well. I believe it's on PS2 too. But watch how nice this runs, and I love this 3D style effect there. Running beautifully. So I can live without the sound on some games like this where I'd rather have the performance boost. Okay. So very, very happy with this one. And again, if you get some metal music playing, it'll be a Zen experience. So very, very cool game. Now I'm actually going to reload the game and show you with sound. And it's going to run so much worse than it is right now. You'll see in a moment. But see how nice and smooth and seamless this is right now? We got to do one more quick game here, obviously. I'm going to play an Atari Jaguar game, which really, really runs awful normally. We're going to do Trevor McFur. And this actually runs considerably better without sound, too. See, even the BIOS loads up a lot quicker than normal. But yes, we're going to reload the Shikigami game 2 last with sound to show you how it runs. But yes, just the BIOS display right there typically takes 30 seconds to load. And we got a Lion Witch in the Wardrobe Liam Neeson looking thing here. You'll see. Dad, what's going on there? Kind of reminds me of the Command and Conquer games where they had some celebrity stand-ins and stuff, which were always entertaining. Okay, we're doing the first stage here, and again, this game used to run really, really slow and absolutely unplayable. Now it's actually playable. Look at this. It is actually decently playable for the first time ever now. But yes, we need dynamic recompiler like we have with Sega Saturn in order to run this true to fashion. So what I'm going to do right now is actually go back in RetroCat settings, audio, turn the audio device back on, exit. And then when we go back into the menu, we should have audio again. And then you're going to see Shikigami 2 with sound and how bad it runs. Yes, we got our music again, so low content soundtrack 3. We're going to load Shikigami again. And I passed Naomi. And we're going to load that again with RetroCat Xtreme. Okay, let's see how this runs with sound. It should be running much worse. Actually, kind of choppy, in fact. Okay. See, running far worse right now. Let's get to some of the more frenetic parts in the stage. See, it's just running choppy and horribly right now. Choppy. Not smooth whatsoever. And it gets really bad when you have a lot of enemies on screen. It's like a slideshow, in fact. Not remotely playable. And it gets real bad when you have more enemies on screen coming up here. It's getting so bad right now. I can't play like that.